Hey, Astro Kids, and welcome back. This is your weekly horoscope for August 17th through August 22nd. And starting off here on August 17th, our first major transit that we are having is Mercury trine Mars. And Mercury has been sitting here with the Sun for some time now. We're also going to see the Sun come into a exact conjunction here with Mercury on the 17th as well. So we have this buildup here of Mercury, the Sun, and the Moon that is soon to join, that is here making this trine over to Mars. Remembering that the Sun is in its domicile of Leo and Mars is in its domicile of Aries. So these are very powerful, strong positions. And yes, Mars is slowing down as it is approaching its retrograde that we will see on September 9th. However, Mars is still in its domicile. It is still in this pre-shadow phase where it is moving. And so there is a ton of energy, purpose, and drive that is coming forth this week as we're having this Sun-Mercury conjunction with a trine over to Mars. Tremendous amount of power and strength and motivation that is coming through here. Remembering that this season of Leo has been one of the seasons that is really pushing us out of this heaviness of what is going on here in the reality that we are in with this Pluto, Saturn, and Jupiter retrograde in Capricorn. There is this heaviness that is weighing us down, especially as we've had Venus sitting up in Cancer that met up with the Moon there last week, that really had us wanting to create some kind of emotional stability and support in our lives. And so, with all of this heaviness that is going on around Capricorn, the Sun in Leo is this reminder of this joy, this self-expression, this happiness of doing what we love, being in our passion, moving ahead, this Mars adding an extra courage and determination into this. So this is a great time coming into this week to use your energy, your drive to do what you are passionate about, to put this effort and this energy into your work life. Especially because we are getting closer and closer to this Mars retrograde where we will see a decrease in this energy, right? As Mars comes into a retrograde, which is something that we will talk about later on, we're going to see major roadblocks and we're going to see major detours where our actual energy and drive is not really going to get anywhere. So very little effort and determination is going to get us towards our goals. Once that Mars retrograde hits, bringing up major lessons around waiting and finding different strategies and ways of getting around your obstacles so that you can get towards your results. So that quick, intense Martian energy is going to slow down, where we're really going to have to think and come up with very creative ways of getting the results that we want when that Mars retrograde hits. And so this is a big time, especially with Mars joining in with the Sun in Leo, to really use up that energy, that courage, that drive to quickly get your results, to put in the effort and the work into what you want to see in your life at this time. Now, moving ahead on the 18th of August, we have Mercury that is entering into a sextile with Rahu, the North Node. Remember that Rahu is in the sign of Gemini, where its opposing force is that K2 South Node in Sagittarius, where this is all about leaving behind our stories, our beliefs, and moving towards the truth, moving towards true connection, moving towards what is going on here in our environment versus seeking these outside sources, seeking answers way out into far distance lands, right? Seeking out into this foreign territory. Instead, the karmic lesson here is to connect back to your environment, to connect to those around you, to have this communication, to pay attention to the details that are going on around you, and to pay attention to the true facts, right? So there's a big push that is going on right now, and that has been going on throughout 2020, especially as we hit this nodal axis of Gemini and Sagittarius on the 5th of May, that this is a big time to really make sure that you are checking all of the facts, all of the information, getting all of the details before jumping into a story or belief that is being fed to you. So that is a huge karmic lesson that is going on currently within our reality. And this is going to show up even more so with the sextile over to Mercury and Leo. Remember that Mercury and Leo is about communicating with your confidence, with your pride, right? It is about communicating directly from the heart center, being direct, straightforward, courageous. And so this is where this whole Mercury and Leo transit, many of you have been feeling very expressive, very confident in your speech, in your way of thinking and gathering information, in your way of rationalizing. And so this is a big time where arguments, debates can stir up. This is a big time where we can speak very heavily on our opinions and beliefs with this Mercury sextile and over to Rahu, the North Node in Gemini. So a lot of this very straightforward communication, a lot of arguments, a lot of debates that can come up. And so this is a big time of really wanting to be cautious of how you are trying to communicate and relate to others, making sure that this is not coming from a place of ego or arrogance, that you are making sure to check your facts, check your details, and to communicate in an effective and appropriate way where you are still adding in that level of confidence and that direct communication. Moving forward, also here on the 18th, we have Venus making a sextile to Uranus. And remembering that Uranus is in its debilitation here in the sign of Taurus. Taurus wants this stability, this security to hold on to its worth and what it's building and creating. Uranus wants to come in with these breakthroughs and genius ideas to create change, to stir things up, to get us to the next level. So this very rebellious, innovative energy of Uranus is coming in here, breaking down our foundation, breaking down our security, right? And we've experienced this here all year. Financial security breaking down, our reality, our values, what we've held on to for so long, our tradition that is breaking down and crumbling underneath us with this Uranus and Taurus. Now, keep in mind that Uranus also just stationed retrograde here as well. And so Uranus is in this reflection mode where this is a time to look back at your changes and your decisions that you made in the past and making sure that all of those decisions are something that truly benefits you in your life. If there are any decisions that you have made that were just in the spur of the moment, that do not serve you, that are not of the highest value, remember that Uranus is in Taurus, where it is all about elevating our values. And so if you are not operating and functioning at the highest value, holding the highest self-worth in yourself, then you want to go back and revisit those changes and decisions that you've made and correct them. If you have missed opportunities or decisions that needed to be made to elevate your value and worth, then you also want to take a look at that and see how you can make future changes to better yourself at this time. Because this is a sextile over to Venus in Cancer, where we are trying to find emotional comfort. We're trying to find our self-worth and our value through feeling and connection. And with Venus being in Cancer, remember that Venus does not function so well in Cancer because of this need for security and comfort and pleasure and the ups and downs, right? Cancer is ruled by the moon. It is about our emotions, where there are these tides of ups and downs. And so Venus is very uncomfortable here, trying to find some sort of connection, some sort of emotional comfort. And so that emotional comfort is found in making sure that we are elevating our value, our worth, making sure that we are connecting to what is of the highest, greatest good to us. That is that Uranus and Taurus that is trying to elevate us and take us to the next level in our value and worth. And so revisiting those areas where those changes need to be made or where those changes need to be revised is a huge part of what we are going to need to do here, especially coming into this new moon that is also happening here in Leo. And this is a huge new moon, especially as we have been going through these very intense, heavy energies, that now we have the sun, the moon, and Mercury all in the sign of Leo. So this is a huge time of doing what you love, connecting to what you love, expressing yourself directly from the heart space, stepping in directly and completely into what it is that truly fulfills you and brings you that joy. Remember that Leo is connected to our pleasure, our excitement, our passion, our creativity. This is all about where do we want to put our energy and our time into that brings us the most joy into our lives. And this is a huge energy that we need during these difficult times. So this new moon is huge, and not only that, but this new moon, which we will talk more about in a future video coming up here, is also going to form a kite and a yacht. We have this new moon in Leo that is making a trine over to Ketu, the south node in Sagittarius, where our comfort is in our beliefs, is in the stories that we tell ourselves, is in this search and quest to look outside of ourselves, to trust in a faith or a philosophy. And this new moon is also going to be in a trine over to Mars in Aries, where this is a ton of passion, a ton of energy, a ton of drive, but this is also building up in a quincunx to all of this heavy Capricorn energy, right? Remember that we have Jupiter, which is debilitated in its retrograde in Capricorn, where this is a huge faith test that we are going through. So Jupiter is this huge happy-go-lucky energy of optimism, of openness to experience, of learning, going higher, seeking greater wisdom, this abundance in life. And it is here in this very disciplined, very strict sign of Capricorn where we have to face our reality. We have to be in this harsh reality and work towards our goals and ambitions in life. Use our resources to get to where we want to be. So Jupiter is not so happy here in the sign of Capricorn, where it is no longer in this place of just hoping and wishing and believing, but it also has to do the work here. And Saturn is making this more strict as it is back here in the sign of Capricorn in its retrograde, as well as Pluto, which is here breaking down and destroying our old reality, giving us this power to transform and heal through moving towards a greater and better reality that is of the highest, greatest worth to us in our lives. So this is a huge new moon that we are entering into here on the 18th. On the 19th of August, we have Mercury entering into Virgo. So Mercury is exalted here in Virgo as well as in its domicile. So this is a huge shift for Mercury. But remember that this is a huge moment where you want to use this Mercury energy because we are leading up here very shortly to another Mercury retrograde in the month of October. So as we're here approaching September, we are actually preparing for another Mercury retrograde that we will see in October, which will happen in the sign of Scorpio and shift back into Libra. And so there is a lot of lessons that are coming here in the future that are focused on this moment of really looking at the details, looking at the information, looking at where you can make the improvements and adjustments. Remember that Mercury is very high functioning here in the sign of Virgo, where now not only can we process the information, communicate the information, like we do in the sign of Gemini, its first domicile, but now we can also use that information in a practical way to come up with solutions to our problems, to use our knowledge to serve for the highest, greatest good. So very practical as Mercury shifts into Virgo. We are going to be focused more on our responsibilities and how we can serve others. Where are the practical solutions? How can we make improvements and adjustments? So big shift as Mercury enters into Virgo. And we are going to see the sun also come into Virgo later on this week as well, which is going to shift the season from Leo. So using up all of this Leo confidence, expression, joy, optimism to really work towards our passion and our goals is huge, especially as it will be in that trine over to Mars and Aries, where we have a ton of energy, a ton of drive to get through our goals. Moving forward on the 21st of August, we have Mars making a square over to Saturn. And so Mars is going to be in this very intense square over to Saturn. Mars is at home in its domicile in the sign of Aries. Saturn is also in its domicile in the sign of Capricorn. But remember that Saturn is holding more weight than Mars, right? Mars is very fast, very direct, and Saturn has this heavier, disciplined approach. And Mars is also high functioning in the sign of Capricorn. So Mars is not having such a fun time as it is in its pre-shadow. It's in this square with this heavy, intense Saturn that is retrograde in the sign of Capricorn, making us face our fears, making us face our past reality, making us face the truth of what is going on here in the world. And Saturn is going to be squaring up with Mars, which is going to create this intense moment of wanting to fight against our reality, wanting to fight against our responsibilities, wanting to fight against the truth. And so this is a big moment of focusing on what are your goals, what are your responsibilities, and what do you want to do in this moment, and do these two things align in your life? Are you trying to fight against the reality, against the truth of what is really going on? And this is a big moment of realization of what is actually going on in your life. Does this actually fit the story of what you believe, especially with Mars in that trine over to the South Node K2 in Sagittarius? Big moment of really understanding, okay, do my beliefs, do my opinions actually reign true in this reality, in this moment? Moving forward, our last major transit of this week is on the 22nd of August, when the sun shifts into the sign of Virgo. So this is shifting us into the season of Virgo, where we are leaving behind Leo. We are leaving behind this Sun, Moon, Mercury, powerful energies in that trine over to Mars that is giving us this energy, this intensity, this passion to act on what we love and what we want And now we're moving more into this responsible, practical energy of Virgo. And so we're still here focusing on work. We're still here focusing on getting our responsibilities done in this reality as we shift forward into Virgo season. But it's not as fun as we're leaving behind this very optimistic, confident, passionate energy of Leo. And so this is where the energy starts to get a little bit more heavy, a little bit more serious, where we start to focus in on, especially with Mercury also here in the sign of Virgo, that we're starting to focus more on our responsibilities, more on how we can get those responsibilities done in a serious and focused way. What are the logical steps? What are the practical solutions that we need to get there to that actual solution, that actual answer, that actual result that we want in our lives? I'm also going to pull a card as well for this week. So we're going to see what we get here for the week of August 17th through August 22nd of 2020. And the first card that comes up here is the Ace of Swords in reverse. We're going to pull another card here for August 17th through August 22nd of 2020 for a little bit of confirmation as well. Next card here is the Seven of Cups in reverse. So this is really a big time of making choices about what do you want to experience. Making choices about what do you want to start, what do you want to experience, what is the project, what is the thing that you've missed out on that you're not experiencing in your life. We want to turn this energy around where we are actually starting and creating what we have decided that we want to experience in this reality, right? And this is a great week to do this with all of that Leo energy that is going to be trining over to Mars in Aries. Ton of energy, a ton of passion. And last card that just flew out here from the Barbieri Zodiac Oracle deck is Mars. So this is a huge time to use your energy, use your resources, use your skills, use your passion, use your straightforward determination to work on your goals, to work on what you want to achieve at this moment. That was your weekly horoscope for August 17th through August 22nd. Thanks so much for joining. If you enjoyed this, feel free to leave a like as well as a comment. If you are new to this channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any new content. I also wanted to mention that I am currently offering a class that is available in the private Facebook group, Astrology Class with Daquan Jones. It is also available on Patreon, which Patreon is fully up. You can go on. There is exclusive content on there. And coming up here during this week, you will see the September horoscopes on there as well. So keeping in mind that those monthly horoscopes are shifting over to Patreon. So if that is something that you are interested, go ahead and join over there. You will see some free content and you will see some exclusive paid content that is over there on that Patreon. The class is also available over on Udemy as well. So I will leave all of that information down below in the description. I also want to mention that I am also doing a blog, which will also be in the description as well as the comments as well. Another thing that I'd like to mention is that I have a free group on Facebook, Astro Metaphysical Love and Light, where you can share your motivational advice, spiritual wisdom, or simply just peace and love. And I want to thank you all once again so much for joining. And I want to thank all the spirits who joined in today to make this message possible. I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you in the next video.